Alrighty, we are here with the Combat Zone, and we are lucky enough to have the CFFC 125-pound champion, Bilal Hasan. Welcome to the Combat Zone, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. Appreciate it.
So, you're one of the most exciting prospects in all of the world right now in MMA with 5-0, 11-0 if you're counting amateur. You have incredible finishes on the ground, on the feet. You just got the vacant CFFC belt. What is it like being a major regional promotion champion at 23 years old?
I say this all the time. I sound like a broken record, but it feels meant to be. I put in the work inside and outside of the cage. I'm trying to grow everywhere, man. I think as a martial artist, as an MMA fighter nowadays, you have to be able to market yourself. And so, man, you got to do, like I said, you got to be entertaining inside and outside of the cage. And I'm just trying to show the world my personality inside and outside of the cage. And so, man, it's really cool that that I know the spotlight's on me and a lot more pressure's on me, but that's what I thrive in. And so, I love it, man. I love it.
No, and like you're saying, you got to be a personality outside the cage as well. Your social media game is on point. The Instagram's fantastic. The YouTube's
Appreciate that.
fantastic.
Let's go.
What are you doing to make sure that is to the best, like the quality it is to promote yourself outside of fighting? I feel like a lot of fighters aren't doing this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just understanding like the where I want to go. I have to be able to elevate everything in my life. And so that's also the reason why I'm doing this right now. Like speaking, public speaking, communication is such a skill. And I'm a white belt with probably two stripes. And so it's still a skill that I'm trying to get better at. And then also like promoting myself. Even the social media game, man, that's a skill in itself. And I'm just trying to level up everything. And of course my fighting as well. I'm training every single day. I'm teaching as well. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to elevate my whole life, basically. Everything that surrounds fighting.
You're doing a great job so far. Even the non-fighting content, like you and your other Spider-Men in the street, seeing Doc Ock
Let's
hanging up
go.
on him,
Hell
you're
yeah.
getting
Let's
on him.
go.
I saw that. I was like, oh, this is great.
Bro, I had so much fun doing that. It was Halloween. And I was like, you know what? The only costume I have is Spider-Man. And my buddy also has the same exact one. And so we just like went out in the streets of Seattle and we were just having just a great time, man. And so, yeah, I'm glad you got a laugh out of that. That was so much fun.
Well, you fight like you're a real life Spider-Man as well. You've got spinning wheel kicks. Your championship win was one of the craziest submissions I had ever seen in my
Let's
life.
go.
You froggered the guy back to front on his back, rear naked choke, and then put him out. That was insane. What was that like winning your first major championship?
I think even more than that, man. Like initially, once I got like that submission, like I said, I have an undefeated record, but that was my first ever submission, right, in my whole career. And so, right when I got that submission, man, I totally forgot that I was even fighting for the belt. I was just so happy that I got a submission. Like if you watch the replay of my fight, I go up onto the cage and people usually go like the belt. I went up to the cage and I went like rear naked choke. And it was funny too because the fight before that, I got a first round knockout, and I went on to the commentary with Mr. Hanato Moicano. Shout out to him, man. And I told him I was like, "Yo, man, I'm good. Next fight, I promise you, I'm gonna show some jujitsu. I'm gonna get a rear naked choke." And that's exactly what I did. I went out there and I did what I said, and so it just all came together. And I thought it was just such a cool moment, man, that I was able to, but like I with me, man, I think performances matter than, the belt or being the champion of the world. And so that's going to come and go, but I think the performances stay forever. And so I was just super happy with my performance.
And like you mentioned, that Hanada Moicano interview, that one kind of viral in itself. You went over
Hmm.
there, you were pumped to see him, as I would be. Who doesn't want to see Money Moicano?
Funny ass guy.
And it was fantastic. That's another part of your personality showing out. But like you said, you're undefeated. You've been killing it. Now, you fought in all over the place, but your title win was it South Dakota, I believe?
North Dakota. Yeah, in the
North,
middle of nowhere,
yeah,
man.
North Dakota. What's it like fighting in the middle of nowhere from someone like from a big city like Seattle?
Yeah, dude. It's funny you say that. Like, I actually had a great time in North Dakota. Like, I would never want to personally go there on vacation or anything, but for a business trip and a fight, man, I had a great time. Three of my other teammates also fought on the card. They did super well. Two of them were amateurs. They got a first round finish. Another, my buddy, Bad Apple Vassal, unfortunately, lost a very close decision. I thought it went to his way. Like I literally was in the back. I was two fights after, and I remember watching the whole fight and being like, okay, I'm gonna go and warm up. And I was for sure that he won, but he came back and lost the decision. So, but the whole experience was really cool, man. North Dakota is definitely very different, very rural, but I had a great time. It was a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, no, and I love those venues because I'm from northern Wisconsin, kind of the middle of nowhere, you know.
Yeah.
But like you said, you're putting it on the map. I'm big fan of you. I got to get you from big city on the show across the country.
Let's
But
go, man.
moving on from this title win, I'm sure you've talked about it a ton. The tough 33 season is coming up. It's the flyweights. It's the current casting call right now. We're right in the middle of it. Have you
Yep.
been thinking about that at all?
Long story short, yes, man. Yes, that was definitely in the options. Unfortunately, we're me and my team, we've come to the conclusion of no. We think that my stock is too high for me to go into that show. And I feel like for that show, like the biggest thing was the experience. I really wanted to do it. And I still, I personally really want to do it just because the experience factor, man. I think my personality would show and my whole life, like the beginning of my life, I always competed in Taekwondo. And so ever since I was maybe 10 years old, all I've been doing is just staying healthy, being consistent and like training and fighting. Like I would compete every other week. And so being in that environment to where it's like, okay, I'm just in this house with other fighters and all I have to do is just train, be consistent, stay healthy and fight. I thought that was perfectly made for me and I would be able to show my personality out there. And so that was the whole reason why I was like, you know what, I really want to do it. But we ultimately came to the conclusion of, yeah, let's go ahead and just build our stock right now. Like my stock, even outside of the UFC, is I don't want to say really high, but I'm doing a good job at it. And so I definitely want to keep on doing what I'm doing, and yeah, hopefully maybe do like a contender series or just come in straight into a UFC card. And so I'm just trying to build my personality outside of the Ultimate Fighter. I think my coach said this, and also all other people on my team. I think they said the Ultimate Fighter is for people that to showcase their personality that they don't have, right? That show kind of elevates them, and so they say just keep my stock, and yeah, just keep on fighting at this regional level, and see what happens from there.
No, and I completely understand that. I think that's very smart. And like you said, I think as a fan, it's you have that want to go on the show and be like, "Oh, I've seen this my entire life. Like this is something I want to
uh
do." But
yeah.
as a business perspective, it's probably the worst way to get in the UFC. You have to
Mm-hmm.
do a bunch of short notice weight cuts against very good people, and you have to
Yes.
live and it's all your stuff out of your regular environment.
Mm-hmm.
With that out of the environment stuff, did you ever think about potentially making that 125 mark over and over again? Do you
Yeah,
think that would have been a problem?
no, I don't think it would have been a problem at all. That's why I really wanted to do it because, like I said, my whole even before MMA and Taekwondo, like I would always just be consistent, train, make weight, fight. That was it. Like for like months at a time, months on months. And so that's why I really wanted to do it. I almost felt like that show was tailored for me. And so unfortunately, yeah, like you said, the in the business aspect, it's not the smartest decision. And so and my coach and all these guys have their best interest in me, and so I trust them. And so at the end of the day, no, I'm not the ultimate fighter at this time, unfortunately.
And respectfully, I got to agree with them because with your fight style, you go on the contender series, maybe it's exactly what they want. They want an exciting guy with an exciting personality. But like you've said on your Instagram and like UFC Fight Pass has promoted, you might be the UFC Fight Pass Fighter of the Watch of 2025.
Let's go.
Now, a little birdie has told me that you told UFC Fight Pass that you would be walking out to Cream by Prince, and you
No.
lied to them. What happened there? I thought that would have
Oh,
been a great walkout. You didn't want
dude. No.
thrown into the crowd?
Okay, one, I can't leave Michael Jackson, man. Like that's who I grew up with, and yeah, I just ever since I was young, I loved Michael Jackson, and I love the way he was able to perform and captivate the audiences. So I try to bring my own flair to that whenever I go out into the cage. And so yeah, whenever I hear Michael Jackson, it just brings me back to when I was 8 years old, going up on stage, doing the moonwalk, performing Billie Jean and all that. So it just makes me feel like a kid again. But kind of bringing it back, Mr. Jack, I actually really appreciate you kind of reassuring me about the whole ultimate fighter situation. Like, hey, like it makes me feel a lot better because like I said, I still really want to I really want to do that show. But yeah, like you said, I really want to make the right decisions, and I'm glad that you agree with my coaches and my team.
Yeah, and then the last thing I got for you, you always rock those red and silver glasses. Is there any meaning behind those? You rock them or you just like wearing them? They look cool.
Dude, thank you, man. I actually, I went to a Goodwill like actually 2 minutes away from here. I'm right next to my gym. I just walked to the Goodwill, and there were these Oakley, like vintage Oakley glasses. I'm pretty sure they were fake. They were $2. And I was like, dude, these are the fucking sickest glasses I've done ever seen. And so I keep wearing it all the time. And so, but those are for those are my showmanship glasses. So I wear that when I fight right now, and then if I wear that cowboy hat, I wear the shades at the same time. But yeah, definitely, those are my favorite pair of shades for sure.
No, those are just your special occasion goggles, you know?
Yes,
Special
sir. You know
occasions
it. You
only.
know it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Do you have anything you want to do? Shout out the new Patreon, maybe?
Oh man, you've been keeping up. Yeah, shout out. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. But shout out to my YouTube channel. It's Billy the Indo Ninja. I also have a Patreon now. I'll be putting out all my exclusive training videos, even my sparring videos as well. A couple of my like full fight amateur fights, and a lot of Q&A stuff. Because I really want to connect with all my supporters out there, especially my Indonesian people. I'm actually trying to um, learn my language again. And so, yeah, to all my Indonesian people out there, thank you so much for the support. Make sure you guys hit my Patreon, hit my YouTube, Instagram, Billy the Indo Ninja as well. And yeah, that's all I got, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. Let's go.